Let's transform boring thrift shop finds into brilliantly beautiful home decor. Hey there, welcome back to the Schwowin's Nest. This frame is beautiful, but I wasn't sure what that gray color was. Maybe paint or a wax of some kind? Nope, it was just plain old dirt. I started cleaning it at my desk and then realized that I was going to need some heavy duty cleaning to get all of this out. So I took it over to my laundry tub and used some Dawn power wash and a brush and really started to scrub. I just can't believe how dirty it was. And let me tell you, the smell of it was just as bad. But take a look at it now. My vision for this piece was to paint it a shade of white and then distress it back to see the coppery bronze color, especially on the corners with all of that design. This color is called Gardenia from DIXIE BELLE. It's a warm white with a subtle beige undertone. Once it dried, I wanted to try wet distressing, but unfortunately, this paint doesn't come off with water. I guess that's a good thing when you really think about it. So I went back to a light grit sandpaper. That was taking some of the color off too, so the black plastic was peeking out. But I have a fix for all of this. To blend the light and dark spots together, I used bronze gilding wax on top of the whole frame, focusing mostly where the design was and then lightly brushing over the flat areas too. This brought out more of the details and looked so pretty. I added a print into the frame and put it back together, and this is how it turned out. Wood signs like these are readily available at thrift shops and dollar stores, and they make wonderful trays and risers. But today I'm doing something new with mine. I'm painting it the same color, gardenia, and one coat is sufficient for the project. Vintage decor in a farmhouse style has always been my favorite, and there is no end to this type of content on Creative Fabrica, which is where I find most of the prints that I use in my decor projects. I printed two of the same design, then cut it down to match, since the sign is much longer than a regular piece of printer paper. Tearing the edges to fit into the sign, I'm leaving about a half inch from the edge. Tearing the paper from the back of the sheet ensures that you don't see any of the white paper on the image itself, which would create a border. I wanted this just to have the color all the way to the edge, and I'll just keep tearing and fitting it until I have the look that I want. You can use any type of glue to glue down the paper. I decided just to use my Mod Podge, brushing it on and then applying the paper. And once I've got it all smoothed down, I'll use a brayer to smooth it down even more and make sure that there aren't any bubbles or wrinkles. If you don't have a brayer, you can use your fingers, a soft cloth, and I've even seen some crafters use a ball of saran wrap to go over their paper without the risk of tearing it. While ago, I started using resin for molds because using clay is too hard for my hands. So I'm always looking for easier ways to craft. You could also use hot glue in molds, but for this amount, it would take a lot of glue sticks. I have yet to try foam clay to see how it works in molds and how it dries, so that's something I'm going to check out in the future. So for now, I'm going to just use the resin until I'm done with the bottle, and then I'll try some new products. If there's anything that you think would work in molds that wouldn't stress out the arthritis in my fingers, I'd love to hear it down in the comments. I'm using the same bronze gilding wax and just a small brush going over the complete resin piece. If you want a deeper bronze color, you could paint the molds first and then apply the wax. I was looking for a subtle finish, so this was perfect. Grabbing some fine grit sandpaper again, I'll go over all the edges to bring out the black from the base, and then over the paper too. I was impatient and didn't wait for the Mod Podge to fully dry, so I did rip the paper in a few spots, but I think that just adds to the age and character of this piece. I laid out the pattern I wanted for the molds and then used hot glue to put them in place. They'll stick to the paper really well. Using some antique wax in brown, I'll add it all over, including the paper, the sides, and in between all of the molds. This will add even more vintage charm and age. I studied this piece for a while, trying to decide if it needed something else, like maybe a vintage drawer pull on the top to hang it or some florals. I ended up adding some small cherry blossoms and a few pieces of greenery to liven it up. I think it's a brilliant piece of decor. When I go out thrift shopping, one thing I always keep an eye out for is unique shaped glass. This little cruet was so cute for a buck 49. Glass is a blank slate, so you can basically make it anything you want. Just check to make sure it's not vintage or worth some money before you decide to paint it. Using Fusion Ultra Grip will make sure that my paint sticks on this slick surface. If you haven't noticed, I kind of have a theme going for these boring thrift shop items. So here's the gardenia paint one more time. This time, 2 coats is required, and on the second coat, I'm going to go over the paint a few times to give it some extra texture. Just hitting it with the brush here and there will drag the paint and create some more defined strokes. The gilding wax is the perfect subtle hint of color that I wanted for this little vase. A chip brush will help me get more texture, and it will hit the high parts of the gardenia paint, adding more wax to those spots. Dry brushing is a great way to get a little bit of age on a project without changing the color too much. And decor always looks more expensive when there are varying shades and textures on it. Using a smaller brush now, I want to highlight specific areas of the vase: the bottom stand, the rim on the top, and the handle. They'll get a good coat of the wax and then I'll blend it out so it gradually fades. I'm really starting to like the look of gilding waxes. I only have the bronze right now, but I think I'll try the copper and the antique gold too. Let me know if you like a bit of sparkle in your decor too. I love how this little guy turned out. He's not boring anymore. Being able to put two pieces together to make a beautiful decor piece that is also functional always gets me so excited. I found this candle holder and bowl 2 separate days at 2 separate stores. Wooden bowls seem to have lost their appeal for some people. I find them quite often at thrift shops. This one is solid maple made by Barabo Craft Canada. I cleaned them both up, gave the bowl a light sanding, and then used Weld Bond glue to put them together. Weld Bond glue takes about 5 or 6 hours to fully cure, but it usually dries quite quickly within about 30 minutes. So after about an hour, I was able to grab the bowl, set it back up on my desk, and then use Fusion's hemp oil to season it and bring it back to life. I'm not going to do anything with the candlestick. I think the color is perfect and they both go together so well. Now, before some of you come at me in the comments about how much this bowl would be worth, I checked online and on its own, probably only between $15 and $20. So, for that reason, I don't mind putting it together with this candlestick and making a beautiful wooden pedestal bowl. I hope you got inspired to look at thrift shop items with some imagination, to see beyond their boring natural state and think about turning them into brilliant, beautiful decor for your home. Thanks for watching, and I hope I see you again soon.